So, you're looking to put together a Light-Paws Emperor's Voice Commander deck? Well, I'm here to help you get started with that. I'm Capital G, and welcome to the first 10. Light-Paws Emperor's Voice, a 2-mana 2/2 coming out of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty that has captivated the imagination. It's already quite a popular commander out of the gate, and it's easy to see why. White and 1 2/2 Fox Advisor. We don't care that it's a Fox Advisor, we care about auras. Because whenever an aura enters the battlefield under our control, if we had cast it, and this is wordy, we get to search our library for another aura card. The mana value can be the same or less than the card that we had cast, but the name must be different, which we're playing Commander, not an issue. We get to put that aura that we tutor for into play attached specifically to Light-Paws. So obviously this lends itself very nicely to a Voltron strategy. We don't want to go all in on Light-Paws because the inherent weakness of auras is that if our commander ever gets removed, we lose all the progress that we have made up to that point. So we are going to run a few other creatures, we're going to run some cool synergies, and make sure that we can make Light-Paws humongous, and swing in for the knockout. That is the game plan. So let's get started with actually a couple of other creatures that'll help us out, both legendary actually. Starting with Katelda, Hart, Martyr. White and 1 coming out of Crimson Vow. Has flying, lifelink, and protection from vampires, but we're not running it because of the stats. We're running it because it synergizes with our enchantments. In this case, its power and toughness are equal to the number of enchantments we control. We're not running a lot of spirits, but we're definitely running a bunch of enchantments. But it has Disturb, which means we can cast this from our graveyard as an aura. And the aura that it turns into, Katelda's Rising Dawn, gives the enchanted creature +X/+X, where X is equal to the number of permanents we control that are spirits and or enchantments. So it's a great way of demonstrating how big and how fast we can make our commander. Just by playing enchantment after enchantment after enchantment, and all of a sudden it's got 25, 26 power and swinging in with flying, lifelink, and who knows what else. So that is the threat that we are presenting when we bring this deck to the table. But obviously, even though we're pulling permanents out of our deck, we are going to run out of gas if we're not drawing some cards. So let's have a peek at SRAM Senior Edificer. Another 2-mana 2/2, but whenever we cast an aura, we get to draw a card. It says we can also draw cards if we cast vehicles or equipment. Spoiler alert, no vehicles, but we could have some equipment. There is one piece of equipment specifically that we must run, and that is the Robe of Stars. Why must we run this? Well, it's the best defensive tool that we have. 2 mana to cast it, only 1 mana to equip it, which is really sweet. It gives the equipped creature +0/+3 and the astral projection ability, where for a white and 1 mana we get to phase out the equipped creature. So what that means is that the creature, any equipment, and any auras on it phase out. They're treated as though they don't even exist on the board. So if somebody board wipes, well, not affected. Somebody's like, destroy all enchantments, well, guess what? They're all phased out. Can't even target our commander if, say, Swords to Plowshares anymore. It's gone. Everything immediately comes back during our untap step. So everything phases back in. It's never left the battlefield, therefore it's not entering the battlefield, so our Light-Paws can swing in immediately after phasing in. So, essential stuff here, I think. Because we don't want to, throw 3, 4, 5, 6 auras onto our commander and lose them all. Because our auras are fantastic. There's a lot of really cheap ones, such as All That Glitters, that provides a huge buff, +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment we control. And there's other examples of this too, both in aura form and in equipment form, so be sure to look out for those. I like All That Glitters specifically. Again, it's so cheap to get. It's so cheap to cast. It's so easy to tutor out when we cast our other auras. Not all of our auras have to target our commander. Keep that in mind. Only the ones that we tutor for. I would love to cast the Curse of Exhaustion on our opponent. Because this it's an aura, but it enchants one of our opponents. The enchanted player cannot cast more than one spell each turn. Amazing, and this costs 4. So we get to, take out one of our more threatening spell slingers this way. Just slow them right down to a crawl. And of course, being a 4-mana enchantment means we can go get up to a 4-mana value worth of aura. And again, like I said, there's a lot of fantastic ones already at 1 and 2, and some even better ones at 3 and 4. While I don't have an example of a good buff at 4, I have an example of another removal piece at 4, and that is the Faith's Feathers. So 4 mana for this aura goes on any permanent. We gain 4 life. The enchanted permanent cannot attack or block, and its activated abilities may not be activated unless they're mana abilities. Yes, you can throw this onto a vehicle, and the vehicle can no longer be crewed. Yes, you can enchant a planeswalker with this, and their loyalty abilities may no longer be activated. Amazing flexibility. We don't see this in our format too often because it's a 4-mana piece. But again, this lets us go tutor out some really sweet auras with our commander out in play. So it's actually way better here than you would find in most other places. A very powerful aura for us, and this is our recovery piece, is Mantle of the Ancients. If somebody does connect with a board wipe and manages to get all of our things into the graveyard, well, this will help us get them back out. White, and 3. Obviously, we want to enchant our commander. Once our commander is ready to attack, wait for our commander to be ready to attack before using this. But once it is, you pay your 5, you throw this on your commander. Not only can you tutor out another powerful aura, but then you can pick your best auras in your graveyard and put them onto our Light-Paws. And of course, this provides a pretty big buff as well. So yes, we definitely want to run this as a great recovery piece in the mid to late game. And another concept that I want to play around with here, Spectral Grasp. So there's tons of pacifism effects at 2 and 3 mana that prevent our opponent's creatures from attacking or blocking. Spectral Grasp is a little special because this means that whatever creature that we enchant with this cannot attack us or a planeswalker we control, and cannot block a creature we control, but it can still swing at our other opponents. So I thought this was a fun little include. We can throw this onto an opponent's creature and then go get our All That Glitters or any other buff that we may need for the time. This can be very toolboxy. On the toolbox front, we do need a way to get auras back from our graveyard as the game goes by. Obviously, we've already seen the Mantle of the Ancients. How about Hall of Heliod's Generosity? What's cool about this is that we can take an enchantment that's in our graveyard, put it back on top of our library. Let's say it's our All That Glitters, for example. And then we cast the Faith's Feathers on something else. Then we can immediately put that All That Glitters back onto our commander. So the fact that it goes on top of our library is not going to deny us any draw, because it's going to put something that we want back into our deck and let us use it almost immediately, depending on the situation of the board. So yes, Hall of Heliod's Generosity, Original Modern Horizons. This one might be a little price taggy, but this is going to be fantastic for you here. And I talked about, us being vulnerable to board wipes, but we do have access to a board wipe that doesn't touch us at all, and that is the Winds of Wrath. White, and 3, destroy all creatures that aren't enchanted. They cannot be regenerated. There aren't a lot of other decks that play with auras. Be careful if you see a Tuvasa deck, or perhaps a Galea deck, because those can play auras. Most other decks don't. So this is a good way to 5 mana take 95% of the things you're going to see off the table. We get to keep our commander, and there might be 1 or 2 other random oddball things that survive it, and that's it. So this is our best board wipe. Run it. And just like that, we are done with our 10 cards. That didn't take long at all today. And there's a lot of great options. Head to the DH Rec page and you'll see what I mean. This is a very popular deck with a lot of cool ideas already dumped into it. So I hope I helped you get started, and Put down your suggestions. What are some of your picks? What are your first 10 cards for your Light-Paws deck? Let's see that in the comments below, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.